Ellen DeGeneres is a mainstay of American television with her "Be kind" message, beloved and accepted universally. But the daytime host has been under fire recently, mostly because of reports and accounts from people that suggest that her loving persona is actually a facade that's tricking everyone. On that note, it would be better to go through 10 reasons why Ellen is impossible to work with. At number 10, she's not nice in reality. It's easy to think Ellen is the cheerful personality everyone sees on TV. After all, the world has been getting a dose of her cheerfulness and positivity for more than 2 decades. But nearly everyone who has ever met her or worked with her in some capacity knows this isn't the case. According to several different accounts from people in her staff and celebrities that know her, Ellen is not nice at all. In fact, she's one of the meanest people you can meet. While that may seem like a startling revelation, it is actually quite common knowledge for most people in Hollywood. You'd be surprised to hear just how much people dislike her. Kevin T. Porter, a comedian, actually crowdfunded a Twitter thread that charted just how mean Ellen can be. He ended up receiving 300 replies on the thread. While that doesn't confirm Ellen's meanness, it does provide a testament to how she's perceived by a lot of people who have worked with her. At number 9, she can be cold and distant. While she does seem incredibly warming and welcoming, Ellen's guests have different experiences. The person herself is not as approachable and easy to talk to as you might think she is from TV. According to YouTuber Nikki Degeneres, who visited the show in early 2020, Ellen's actual nature could not be more distant from what you would expect. She revealed her negative experience on a Dutch talk show where she said she preferred that show over Ellen. Her reason being that she got a hello on that show, while Ellen never even greeted her when she got to the set.
Yeah. Hi, Nikki.
Hello.
So nice to meet you.
Oh my God, it's an honor. I am thankful that it happened now.
To add to the bad experience that she had, Nikki could not use the bathroom that was close to her dressing room. Apparently that bathroom had been reserved for the Jonas Brothers. Beyond that obviously bad experience, Nikki found Ellen to be incredibly distant. She found it hard to talk to her and did not feel comfortable at any given moment. The next reason might shock you, but at number 8, she repeatedly makes her guests uncomfortable with unplanned questions. Being inquisitive and trying to throw off your guests to get the answers you want is something that defines a journalist. But Ellen isn't a journalist. She's supposed to make her guests comfortable and have good rapport with them for the entertainment of her audience. While that would define a good daytime host, Ellen likes to go a step further with her guests. She repeatedly asks questions that puts her guests on the spot and they end up looking very uncomfortable. While this does not mean that she's mean, this does make her incredibly difficult to work with for her guests. And she did get away with it for a long time, until Dakota Johnson confronted her last year. The infamous exchange involved Ellen saying that she wasn't invited to Johnson's birthday party to put her on the spot. However, Johnson didn't let Ellen get her way and mentioned on TV that she did invite Ellen, but the daytime show host didn't come. Uncomfortable, to say the least.
Yeah. But I did invite you and you didn't come, so.
This time you invited me?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
How do you know? I don't think so.
Ask everybody. Ask Jonathan, your producer. Who said you were?
Next up, at number 7, she apparently picks out a person to be mean with. Among the many workplace stories that have dogged Ellen for most of 2020, this one is probably the most in line with the Ellen is mean narrative. While this isn't confirmed, several stories go along the same lines, with all of them suggesting in one way or another that Ellen routinely picks out a person on her staff to be mean with. Yeah, you heard that right. The Be Kind daytime host goes around the office and selects a person that she can be toxic with, and her mean behavior with them only lasts a day. It does sound bizarre, but at this point, what could not be weird about Ellen and her workplace environment? More than that, the situation is incredibly uncomfortable and demeaning for the people who are forced to go through that behavior from her. This situation is incredibly uncomfortable and demeaning for the people who are forced to go through that behavior from her. They can't say anything back since she's their boss, and the excitement of working on one of the biggest shows on television keeps them quiet. If true, it is power harassment, to say the least. If that was surprising, wait till you see what's next. She almost got a waitress fired over nothing. This story goes a long way to show just how difficult the person Ellen can be, so you will definitely want to stick around. Comedian, Chris Farah used to work as a waitress in Hollywood when she first met Ellen. She served her lunch, something that she was honored to do. The next day, her boss called her over and asked her if she had served Ellen and Portia de Rossi lunch the previous afternoon. Farah became excited at the idea of Ellen inviting her to the show, but Ellen had actually contacted the restaurant to make a complaint. Ellen was miffed at some chipped nail polish that she noticed when Farah was serving her. What makes this story even worse is that the nail polish was not even on Ellen's plate. It was just on Farah's hand, and Ellen decided to complain about that, something that almost got Farah fired. For someone all about being kind, Ellen does seem to hold on to grudges.
She emailed the owner of the restaurant and complained about your chipped nail polish.
At number 5, she blindsided her employees during the lockdown. The coronavirus pandemic has been a major problem for all kinds of businesses, with talk show hosts having to adjust to new norms. In such difficult times, everyone looks towards the person with her name on the show. But rather than helping out her staff, Ellen completely blindsided them from the beginning. When the show was about to resume online, she didn't tell her crew members their new working hours or even pay them for over a month. In fact, Ellen only had 40 out of the 30 crew members help her out with the production that took place at her house. The crew was also told to expect pay reductions, even though the show was still airing. Next up, at number 4, she doesn't pick her friends well. For a person who represents the LGBTQ+ community and is an advocate for openness, some of Ellen's friends raise a lot of questions. One particular instance that caused a lot of uproar was her appearance alongside former President George W. Bush at an NFL game. Several people criticized Ellen for hanging out with Bush, among them Susan Sarandon and Mark Ruffalo. On her part, Ellen tried to explain that she can be friends with someone who doesn't share the same views as her and asked the world once more to be kind. But the criticism continued, especially because George W. was openly against same-sex marriage and is accused of several war crimes. For Ellen's detractors, she reeks of hypocrisy. At number 3, she does not care about your privacy. For Ellen, making conversations go the way she wants is everything, even if it means invading the privacy of her guests. That's something that the entire world saw back in 2008 when Mariah Carey showed up on The Ellen Show. Carey was rumored to be pregnant at the time, but had not revealed anything to the media until she ended up on Ellen. Not only did Ellen make Mariah reveal her pregnancy, but she did it in an incredibly manipulative way. She tried to get Mariah into a champagne toast, something that she would not do if she were pregnant. Yes, that's how Ellen made Mariah reveal her pregnancy to the world. It only gets worse for Ellen from there.
You're pregnant! You're pregnant!
No, I didn't say that. No. My mother would be at home on the computer what are you talking about? No, we will let you know.
With number 2, she's a diva. We've already seen just how bad the work environment around Ellen can be, but if there was anything that could make it worse, it's her highly sensitive nose. She demands the utmost cleanliness from her staff. They have to chew some gum before they enter her office. If she smells something off, it can create huge problems. She's a diva to work with, and almost everyone on her staff finds it difficult to keep up with her ridiculous demands. Finally, at number 1, her show was investigated for harassment and misconduct claims. In July 2020, Warner Media, the parent corporation behind Ellen's show, opened an investigation into various harassment and misconduct claims that were coming from the show's staff. The misconduct ranged from sexual favors to handsy groping, with the accusations made against producers on the show by former employees. More than that, the working environment has been called toxic and negative by many sources, which definitely goes against Ellen's kind and caring image. She's not only mean to people, but she lets her show work with an environment that goes against everything she talks about, which makes it impossible for people to work with her. That was all on why it's impossible to work with Ellen. Do leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and remember to subscribe to the channel for more content. See you next time.